If you brought up the name Theft King a month ago, I personally probably would have said the dude genuinely got too much hate, or I believed he was a rather chill person. But if you were to ask me the same question now, I believe you'd get a very different response. I've been slowly building more doubt in my mind over the past month about Theft King and his YouTube personality. Well, I could tell you now, without uncertainty, that he is definitely one of the most immature spurgs I've ever seen upholding a 150k sub YouTube channel. And it baffles me to wonder how someone becomes so terminally online in the way Theft King demonstrates. And if you come here to learn about Theft King's Twitter meltdown that resulted in most of the community cutting ties with him, do not worry, that will be covered soon in this video. For now, let's do a quick recap on who Theft King is, and if you don't care about that, then just skip to the timestamp on screen. Theft King is a Five Nights at Freddy's drama news channel with scripting this video holds roughly 188,000 subscribers. The Theft King channel has been around since 2014 but hasn't actually went anywhere till roughly 6 months ago, where he posted the video titled What Went Wrong? FNAF Security Breach. This video had garnered 178,000 views. After seeing the success in the content and the lack of this content in the niche, he began to post a lot more content relating to FNAF and drama in the community. He continued to improve with his videos and continued to attract more eyes onto the content. Some eyes would not be happy with this content. I know this may be very ironic coming from me, you know, the commentary channel of all things, but some people really do not like drama content. And well, it seems that FNAF fandom has a greater concentration of said people. Since there weren't many FNAF drama channels in existence yet, you'd imagine Theft would get a majority of the hate from those people. And basically this is exactly what happened. And he still continued to go strong till this day, where he had been left in the dust and many bridges were burned. So what exactly happened? Well, we're going to talk about the Peoples Grievances with Theft, and as well as his own actions that back it up. So many people genuinely didn't have much of a reason to hate Theft at first. Many people just saw him as a clickbaity drama hound who was leeching off the FNAF community. Of course, I didn't see it that way, but many did. I easily could agree with the clickbait part, as the dude's thumbnails really do attract attention and are not always truthful. Still, I don't find clickbaiting the way Theft did to be much of an issue. As long as you're not putting stuff like Mr. Beast's last words to Technoblade as your title, I think we're fine. Now, people aside from the clickbaiting issue really found Theft to be really drama hungry, and to be fair, if I was pulling the numbers he was, I couldn't see why not. The dude literally could get 250,000 views on a video called Poppy Playtime Isn't Very Good. Still, calling Theft a drama hound can be seen as accurate, especially because of stuff like this. Really wasn't a good move, but ironically the video that came out of this was rather good. Now later people began to unearth who Theft was behind closed doors, and to put it lightly, the dude can be genuinely seen as a prick. Yes, I know he can look very nice and cheery in videos, but seriously, if you don't want your vision of him tainted, don't reach out to him. Let's say you had an issue with the topic Theft was planning to make a video on, and you tweeted about it, not being very supportive, right? Now let's say you changed your mind after seeing his video and you came back to apologize. Well, fuck all, that's not good enough, and better yet, he'll come back and insult you for admitting you're wrong. End quote. Apologizing to me isn't nice, I guess, but you all demonized me in public, and now you've come back with your tail between your legs in private to apologize. Fuck that, if you're sorry, tweet it. So a dude goes out of their way to admit they're wrong to you as a sign of respect, and your response is, fuck it, it's not good enough. If you're confused why it's better to apologize in private, let me explain. Of course this is subjective, so you can disagree. When you apologize in private, you're doing it mostly for the other person. Some people can do it for themselves because they feel guilty, right? But nobody is watching you, right? If you apologize publicly, a lot of people tend to get more PR, and it's much more beneficial to the person who apologized. This isn't always the case, but a lot of the times it seems so. Personally, I'd find it to be a much greater sign of respect to own up one-on-one, as it isn't as beneficial to the apologizee. More shit he said about the dude's private apology was stuff like, if you want me to respect you and actually believe you're genuine, apologize publicly. You have the ethical obligation to apologize in the same venue that you made your libellous allegations. Ironically though, Theft would not apologize on YouTube to Kane and everyone else where a majority of the shit was thrown in the Twitter meltdown, right? Yo, editing me here, yeah, Theft ended up releasing his Twitter apology onto YouTube, you know, copy and pasting it, about 30 minutes after Kane dropped his massive expose video on him. You know, I think it's probably to cover his own ass, but we'll see. The dude just genuinely sounds entitled in all of these screenshots. If you still have doubts about Theft in private, let's talk about my interaction with Theft. I'll read his response first to let you think of what I said to prompt such a response. I could, but I spared it reading that. Don't ask permission, ask forgiveness. If you would have just asked the question from the get-go, I would have seen that and been responding to that now. Now take a second to think of what I said. All I said was in quote, "Hey Theft, by a chance, can you spare a bit of your time?" All that don't ask permission, ask forgiveness stuff was because I asked for a moment of his time. Don't believe me still? What if we go to someone else's experience? The context behind this is someone came to Theft with a bit of criticism when it came to his content. You can pause and read it here, but the video will get too long if I read every single screenshot, but I'll read the important stuff. Congrats, I responded to your DMs on stream, so I'll send you the video shortly after so you can have your answer. If you didn't hear any of the nice things I had to say, then you didn't watch the video. But if you come at me with lies, I'm going to defend myself. I hope you're happy with the response when you see the video. Later, Denny. Thanks for harassing me. Remember to hold on to that part where he says he claimed he was being harassed. Now, there's more he said that you can read if you pause the video, but it's just him spurging mainly. Especially the "now I dunked on you" and all the haters who tried to cancel me over a video that didn't exist yet. And also to the viewers here. If any of you guys are going to try coming at me and saying these screenshots are fake, I will have it noted. I confronted Theft about the screenshots, and he said they were real. He's just nonsensical, okay? He's just this crazy. But enough of the old stuff, let's talk about this dude's legitimate meltdown over a Rickroll. So if it isn't already obvious from the picture I've painted, Theft King really isn't the most stable dude, but I never really knew how unstable he was until after his Twitter meltdown. So where do I begin? So a YouTuber by the name of Sheep Rampage made a video on the Fazbear Fanverse initiative with an overly negative view, right? So Kane Carter, the creator of Popgoes and the developer of Popgoes Evergreen, made a tweet responding to the video and the FNAF drama community as a whole. This led to many thinking about Theft King and bringing up his name into the conversation. A lot of people began critiquing him mainly for his thumbnails. Theft King responded to a few people and then later began a live stream. This was really where the focus shifted from the community to Theft King, as in the stream Theft would nearly have a mental breakdown every 5 minutes over Kane's tweet, and as well as the fact that Kane never reached back out to him on Twitter. Then Kane decided to do a little bit of trolling where he made a donation on the live stream telling Theft to check one of his latest tweets. Theft lost his shit and started crying like a 12-year-old. Keep in mind, Theft is a 31-year-old adult and ended the live stream there.
What?
Hello?
Hey man, keep your chin up. You should check out the latest tweet by @LostPopGoes. It's important.
Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding? Do you really think this is the fucking venue for this? I DM'd you. I'm begging you to fucking speak to me. I've been begging you. And you've been ignoring me. I didn't do anything. I've been ignoring you. And now you come in private. I'm trying to resolve this in private. And then you come in my fucking live stream and do a donation. Are you serious? Are you kidding me, dude?
Theft King also made a video to Kane where he tries to prove that he's been very supportive of the fanverse, but it was really pointless in my opinion. Kane released a tweet called "My Apology" with a video link below it, and who would have guessed it was a Rickroll? Theft didn't like that, of course, and ended up live streaming again and absolutely lost his shit. Here I'll play 2 clips. The first context behind it is Phil Morg, the developer of FNAF Plus, blocked Theft King.
Fiznam blocked me? I don't give a shit, whatever. The truth is, Fiznam only got the FNAF. The truth is, Fiznam claims that he got the FNAF Plus position because he told Scott about what the flaws of all the FNAF fan games. I think he really got that position because Scott fucking felt bad for him. There's a million games on FanJolts that are way more egregious in terms of like copyright than Fiznam's. Fiznam's got popular and was good, so Scott had to take it down. But he felt bad.
And here's the second.
And I always believe that because I always want to believe the best in people. But from what I've seen in the last few days, I think King Carter is a vindictive, evil person. You know, I'm not religious, but like if there was a hell, King Carter will burn for eternity. Like that's straight up the kind of person I think he is. He's vindictive and likes to see people suffer. That's what his actions have proven.
Yeah, safe to say Theft went absolutely mask off and showed us all truly how two-faced he really was. The dude can go from sucking you off for weeks, but the second he is blocked, he will say you only got where you are, out of pity. After this meltdown, many people began cutting ties with Theft, and the baddest even had to say this. Theft King is a very damaging person. I and most FNAF YouTubers will not be associating with him anymore. I will not tell you what to do, but I would highly suggest you stop supporting him. He is toxic, and I regret giving him my time, let alone any support. There may come a time where I need to elaborate elaborate on this stuff, but trust me, it's not even public stuff. Believe it or not, it's even worse than the surface. This whole thing implies that behind the scenes, theft was even worse than what we've seen. And it's kind of crazy to think about. This all ended with theft dropping an apology and admitting defeat, only on Twitter. So you would think that with all I've said about theft in this video so far, I wouldn't really have much left to say. Well, yes, there's still more. One thing I've noticed with theft is he seems to be rather inconsistent with his own morals, and will do practically anything, even if it affects others negatively, to get a video out that becomes popular. Let me read off a quote from Theft King himself. As someone who reports news sometimes, I have ethical journalistic obligations. I gave Ecker Coaster a platform and I spent 2 videos humiliating the Poppy guys and calling them out. Then the Poppy guys said that they wanted to have their chance to talk. It's my ethical obligation to let them say their piece. Now from this, you'd expect him to, by his own words, follow his journalistic obligations and cover the responses of those called out. Well, surprise, it's objective who he decides to let speak. As he told me directly about the people of the pair, don't give them the credibility of airtime. I deliberately did not go into that stuff. These guys are gone. Cancel. It's over. Now, I won't lie, the people in the pair are horrible people, but by your own words, you should have at least acknowledged their response. But you just ignored it. So why preach from your high horse about your obligations if you don't follow them? What about him doing anything to get a popular video out regardless of who it hurts? Well, the whole meltdown on Twitter caused Liam, creator of the Final Nights series, to come forward with the following. Recent events have gotten me to look over how our conversation went down. I found Theft King manipulated me hard into giving the okay for releasing his video. Here's some evidence of manipulation, guilt tripping, and bribery after the fact. And yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat it. Theft King saying stuff like, you're being intimidated, everyone is on your side, definitely falls into manipulation, considering the fact that Liam was legally binded in an NDA contract with Scott. And for those of you who don't know, an NDA is like a kind of like doctor-patient confidentiality, but like not doctors and patients, of course, where you can't discuss matters tied to the contract outside of people in the contract. And also, this screenshot alone easily shows bribery. Now, one more final grievance I have with theft is his quick actions to dismiss any criticism as just haters or harassment. If it isn't already obvious, Theft seems to be a really sensitive lad, and if you remember what I told you to hang on to earlier, Theft seems to be very quick to claim harassment, regardless if it is or not. Heck, even in that situation, he may have actually been the one harassing Denny. Like, the dude literally went out of his way to bring up a conversation to 2 or 1,000 people because they disagreed. Honestly, with all I've said today, I don't think Theft should be a YouTuber. He just isn't cut out for it. I don't doubt he received some harassment, but the dude genuinely is terminally online. Now, even after what I've brought here today, I do not hate Theft King. I covered much worse people, and I would have a more reasonable time hating them than some dude who has mental breakdowns over rickrolls. And with that, I leave you to discuss what you believe in the comments. And please, try to be civil.